Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be essentially kind of doing a retake on my Inarius Prime build from before. Reason why is because I wasn't really happy with it. The main reason why I wasn't happy with it was because when Arcane Persistence first came out, I kind of just threw the Arcane on there and threw together some random build and said, yep, there we go. And while it does perform well, it doesn't, like, I just don't feel happy with it, to be honest. So I wanted to come up with something that was a little more engaging, a little more fun, and more suitable for endgame content and things like that. So in this video, I'm going to explain, since Anaros is a pretty in-depth frame, I'm going to explain pretty much everything about why I have the things that I have on him. So first off, for the Archon shards, you'll notice I have two ability strength shards. These are just for some added strength. You can run as many of these as you want or none at all. It's entirely up to you. One armor shard. Now, everyone and their mother seems like they really want to crank his armor to the highest that it can go. The reason why I say that is a big no-no and that is a bad thing is because you will eventually get to a point where arcane persistence is just perpetually coming into effect where you're getting hit for over 500 damage per shot. So everything that you have, whether it be a mod, Archon Shard, anything like that, that's buffing your armor, negated completely. It doesn't even matter anymore. And all of that utility for armor, dead. It's dead, it's useless, it's not doing anything. Um, Granted, I will say, if you have a ton of armor with him, this will help you get to that point very easily. But for me, in my opinion, I'd rather just have a build that will already be prepared for that and will already take like that will already be in a position to handle that at any point in the game, not just when I get that far, right? So that's why I only run one Tau Forged Blue for armor. Is because I pair this with, you'll see the build in a second, I pair it with Umbral Fiber to get me just enough armor for persistence to always be active. Um, and yeah, casting speed shard, this is pure utility. You can run this, you can not run this, entirely up to you. Health, just a little bit of extra health. Again, utility, you can run whatever you want. And then I already explained the two strength shards. Now for the helmet ability, I chose Well of Life. Reason why is because you become immune to status effects, which I mean, that doesn't really matter, but immune to status effects, crazy range, insane health per second healing, and um, like lifesteal, everything like that. It's essentially just a better version of his one that also gives you immortality. I think this is super nice. This is super nice for him, and it's also super nice for the squad at hand. Any squad that you run with is gonna be extremely happy at the fact that these Well of Lives are around, because whenever they die, if they die, this is just gonna keep them alive. Granted, the immortality cooldown is 120 seconds. It's it's whatever. If any given teammate is dying more than once every 2 minutes, then something deeper is wrong and something needs to be looked at with their builds. Um, so with all of that explained and all that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and show you the actual build now. So this is what I'm running. Uh, a few notes that I will say. If you don't want to run Hunter Adrenaline, you can run Equilibrium. The reason why I didn't want to run Hunter Adrenaline before was back when Arcane Persistence was not a thing. When Arcane Persistence was not a thing, running this mod was extremely counterintuitive, in my opinion, because you're essentially making your energy economy based on you getting hit. This is a game where you don't want to be hit, right? The whole point is you're trying to not take damage. So the fact that your entire energy economy is built around taking damage kind of sucks. It's kind of not good. So and everyone was like preaching some gospel about Hunter Adrenaline being really good. I don't think so. I think having an energy economy that is consisting around you getting hit and you taking damage, especially when enemies can just one shot you at high enough levels, extremely counterintuitive. But now that this arcane persistence is a thing, this becomes a lot better. Because let's say right now I have 5,700 health, and let's say in a mission I am taking 500 damage per second. That means that I visit for 11 seconds, 500, you know, or maybe not 11, but 500, no, 511 times, you're not you're not taking damage, or you're not going to be able to die. You're still going to take damage, but since you can't take more than 500 damage per second, you physically cannot die until that 11 seconds is up. No matter what happens, you physically cannot die unless this gets nullified. If you get hit with magnetic or it's nullified, you're cooked. You're gone. You're out of there. But while this is active, you essentially are on an 11-second timer throughout the entirety of any mission that you go into. You're able to stay alive, keep yourself alive for 11-second chunks, and all you have to do is use literally any of his abilities, and you will be able to keep yourself alive longer and reset that timer. Well of Life is going to essentially raise this amount by 50% because the fact that you are healing roughly 256 health per second per well. I believe the altered version you can still create up to 3. Yes, you can still create up to 3. So you kind of can't die. If you're within the radius of 2 or 3 well of lives, you literally can't die, right? Granted, I haven't actually fully tested if multiple well of lives, if you're within the radius of all of them, if they give you the direct healing of all 3. I would assume they do because that makes sense. That's like the entire point. But if there is a world where that's not the case, right? Like let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say that's not the case. Still having that 256 health per second is crazy good. Because now instead of being on an 11-second timer, you are now on roughly a 16.5-second timer. So as long as you are getting some kind of health regen from his other abilities to just crank them back up, aka his 2 or anything like that, you're on this 16.5-second timer and you can't die. If you want to replace his aura mod, I run this just for his 4 and the 𝐔𝐽𝐽𝑡s that it summons. If you want to replace this, you absolutely can. I would suggest either running Physique or the other one right here. Sorry, felt like I just sneezed. So you can either run Rejuvenation, which is 3 health per second, or you can run Physique. I would recommend Physique. In my opinion, that's what I'd recommend. The rest of the build is just these mods right here. I'm gonna hover over them. I'm not gonna go into too much depth. I'm just gonna show you what they do and that kind of thing. You can pause them, look at them, do whatever you'd like, right? So all that being said, this is the build. This is how everything goes together well. This is how everything mixes. Now, one thing you might be curious about is Elemental Sandstorm. On my melee, I'm running a very basic Viral Influence build. From the last time that I tested this, which would be this build over here, Influence, his tornadoes, or his whirlwind that he goes into, a Sandstorm, can proc Influence. Now, when I tested this, like a little later last year, that was the case, where your melee Influence Arcane would still proc from Sandstorm. Whether that is still the case, I do not know. But you're about to see it in this video. So, with all that being said, let's get into the actual Steel Path gameplay. Thank you, and I hope you all enjoy.